Shalom, my people, Israel everywhere. Shabbat Shalom. This is your man Trey again, coming with you with another video. I'm very excited for this video. The main importance of this video and the title is going to be different ways that Yahweh communicates with us. Well, we all know how important communication is. Whether that communication be business or it's personal, communication is very effective, but not only just communication with anybody. We're talking about communicating with the Most High. So I'm going to go through different ways on scripture of how the Most High Yahweh has communicated with us. And also, I want us to also think and keep in mind what type of energy do we have when we are seeking answers and communication from the Most High. So with that being said, let me go straight into my video, into my board. As you can see right here, the different ways I'll be going through is the first one. I'll be going through how the Most High can use angels to speak to us. Then I'll also be going through how the Most High can use dreams to speak to an individual. And then I'll be going through how the Most High can use a person to speak a message to us. And then lastly, I have for y'all, I have a bonus one that I'm going to save, and I'm going to share that on the end for y'all. Okay, so this first one that I'm going to go over, if y'all can, get your scriptures, go with me. I'm going to be in Judges chapter 6, and I'm starting off in verse 7. It says, when the people of Israel cried out to Yahweh because of Midian, Yahweh sent a prophet to the people of Israel, who said to them, Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, says, I brought you up from Egypt, out of a life of slavery. I delivered you from the power of the Egyptians and from the power of all your oppressors. I drove them out ahead of you and gave you their land. And I said to you, I am Yahweh, your Elohim. You are not to be afraid of the gods of the Amori in whose land you are living. But you paid no attention to what I said. Here we go right here. Then the angel of Yahweh came and sat under a pistachio tree in Ophrah that belonged to Yahs the Evi Izri. His son Gideon was threshing wheat in the winepress in order to hide it from Midian. The angel of Yahweh appeared to him and said to him, You valiant hero, Yahweh is with you. I love it. Excuse me, sir, answered Gideon. But if Yahweh is with us, then why is all these things happening to us? And where are all his miracles our ancestors told us about when they said, Didn't Yahweh bring us up from Egypt? I can hear many people asking these same things now. For now, Yahweh has abandoned us and handed us over to the Midian. Yahweh turned to him and said, Go in this strength and yours and save Israel from the hands of the Midians. Haven't I sent you? But Gideon answered him, Forgive me, my El, but with what am I to save Israel? Now listen to this, y'all, because this is deep. Why my family is the poorest in Manasseh, and I am the youngest person in my father's house. I love this part right here. Yahweh said to him, Because I will be with you, you will strike down Midian as easily as if they were just one man. Wow, that is powerful. So I want to show y'all, and this is one place where you can see that the angel of Yah is communicating with Gideon, and not only does it's coming in a form that looks like a regular person, but when Yahweh is with us, it doesn't matter if you're the poorest or you're the richest or if you're the oldest or if you're the youngest. If Yahweh is with us, just like it says, you will strike down Midian as easy as if they were just one man. So that is one place that I want to show y'all for the communications when it comes to the Most High using angels to communicate with us. And the second place I want you guys to go with me for example of that is in Bereshit, which is Genesis, and we're going to be going to chapter 16. Alrighty, y'all give me a second. Okay. This is a beautiful one as well. Okay, so now Sarah, Abraham's wife, had not borne him a child, but she had an Egyptian slave girl named Hagar. So Sarah said to Abram, "Here now, Yahweh has kept me from having children. So go in and sleep with my servant girl or slave girl. Maybe I'll be able to have children through her." Abraham listened to what Sarah said. It was after Abraham had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan that Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, her servant girl, slave girl, and gave her to Abram, her husband, to be his wife. So we can see that after 10 years, it's looking like that she hasn't been able to give Abraham a child, possibly maybe even more. Abraham has sexual relations with Hagar, and she conceived. But when she became aware that she was pregnant, she looked on her mistress with contempt. Sarah said to Abraham, "This outrage being done to me is your fault. True, I gave my servant girl to you to sleep with. But when she saw that she was pregnant, she began holding in contempt. May Yahweh decide who is right, I or you." However, Abraham answered Sarah, "Look, she's your servant girl. Deal with her as you think fit." Then Sarah treated her so harshly that she ran away from her. The angel of Yah found, here we go. The angel of Yahweh found her by the spring in the desert, the spring on the road of Shur, and said, "Hagar, Sarah's servant girl, slave girl, where have you come from, and where are you going?" She answered, "I am running away from my mistress Sarah." The angel of Yahweh said to her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her authority." The angel of Yahweh said to her, "I will greatly increase your descendants. There will be so many that it will be impossible to count them." The angel of Yah said to her, "Look, you are pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You are to call him Yishmael." Yah pays attention because Yahweh has paid attention to your misery. Bam. These are examples of right there of some places in Scripture where Yahweh can use an angel to deliver and give us a message. And I know a lot of people have situations like this in their life that, their voice haven't been heard on it. Now, let's go to the dreams. So for the dreams, I'm going to need y'all to follow with me, and we're going to go to 1 Kings. And we're going to be in 1 Kings chapter 3, and it will be in verse 4. All right, let me get my word. Okay, Kings chapter 3 and verse 4. All right, let's get it. Now we're going into the dreams. Okay, one time the king went to Givon to sacrifice there because that was the main high place. Slow-mo offered 1,000 burnt offerings on the altar there. At Givon, Yahweh appeared to Slow-mo in a dream at night. Yah said, "Tell me, what should I give you, Slow-mo?" And this is David's son who took after him. "You showed your servant David, my father, much grace, as he lived before you honest and righteously, having an upright heart with you. You preserved this great grace for him by giving him a son to sit on his throne, as is the case today. So now, Yahweh, my Elohim, you have made your servant king in the place of David, my father. But I am a mere child. I don't know how to lead. Moreover, your servants is among your people whom you choose, a great people, so numerous that they cannot be counted. Therefore, give your servant an understanding heart to be able to administer justice to your people, so that I can discern between good and bad. For who is equal to judging this great people of yours?" What Slow-mo had said in making this request pleased Yahweh. Yahweh said to him, "Because you have made this request, instead of asking long life or riches for yourself or your enemy's death, but rather ask yourself understanding to discern justice, I am doing what you requested. I am giving you a wise and understanding heart, so that there has never been anyone like you, nor will there ever again be anyone like you. I am also giving you what you did not ask for, riches and honor greater than that of any other king throughout your life. More than that, if you will live according, oh my goodness, listen to this. More than that, if you will live according to my ways, obeying my laws and my mitzvos, which is commandments, like your father David, I will give you a long life." Slow-mo awoke and found it to have been a dream. It's the way that Most High communicates. And for the second one, let's go to Bereshit, which is Genesis, chapter 31. Yeah. All right. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 31. What we're going to do is we're going to go to we're going to start at verse 10. Okay. So, once when the animals, right here, I'm sorry, got you. Once when the animals were mating, I had a dream. This is Yaakov talking, and it'll clarify this in a second for you. I looked up, and there in front of me, the male goats, which mated with the females, were straight, speckled, and mutilated. Then in the dream, the angel of Yah came to me, Yaakov. See, it's talking to Yaakov, which is Jacob. And I replied, "Here I am." He continued, "Raise your eye now and look. All the male goats mating with the females are streaked, speckled, and molted, for I have seen everything Laban has been doing to you." Because remember, Yaakov was working for his wives. "I am the Elohim of BTL, where you anointed a standing stone with oil, where you vowed your vow to me," which we're supposed to do. We're supposed to keep our vows. Now get up, get out of this land, and return to the land where you were born. Okay? And this last part I'll give you on this. Rachel and Leah answered him, "We no longer have any inheritance from our father's possession, and he considers us foreigners. Since he has sold us, moreover, he has consumed everything he received in exchange for us. Nevertheless, the wealth which Yahweh has taken away from our father has become ours and our children's anyways. So whatever Yahweh has told you to do, do." Bam. This is an example we just read. Yaakov has got this message from Yahweh from his dreams that he needs to get up and he needs to go back to the land where he was born. He relays this information to his wives, and they tell him, do what seems right, what Yah has told you to do. Okay, so now let's go into persons. All right, we're going to start off with Jeremiah. Who? And everybody, let's go to chapter 38. Chapter 38. Jeremiah. If y'all haven't read the book of Jeremiah, y'all need to go back and read it again, because this is it's a beautiful book, just as well as all of them are in these scriptures. Okay, so I'm going to go to Jeremiah. I'm going to be at chapter 38. And follow with me. I'll be starting in verse 7. And then I'll catch you guys up on what's going on. Okay. Okay, actually, I'll start in verse 6. Excuse me. Chapter 38, Jeremiah, verse 6. Then they took Jeremiah, and threw him into the cistern of Malchiah, the king's son, which was in the guard's quarter. They let down Jeremiah into it with ropes, in the pit where there was no water, but there was mud, and Jeremiah sank into the mud. Ebed Melech the Ethiopian, an officer in the king's house, heard that they put Jeremiah in the cistern. When the king was sitting at the gate leading towards Benjamin, Ebed-Melech left the place and said to the king, "My lord, king, what these men have done to Jeremiah the prophet is evil," which he talking about his son, because the king's son put him up in there. "They threw him into the cistern, and he is likely to die there where he is, because of famine, for there is no more food in the city." Then the king ordered Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian. Hey, I see you Ethiopians. The king told him, "Take 30 men with you from here and bring Jeremiah the prophet out of the cistern before he dies." So Ebed-Melech took the men with him and entered the storeroom under the treasury in the king's palace, from which he took some old clove rags. Then he let down the ropes to Jeremiah in the cistern. Ebed-Melech the Ethiopian then said to Jeremiah, "Use these old clothes and rags and padding between your armpits and the ropes." After Jeremiah had done this, they pulled Jeremiah up with the ropes and took him out of the cistern. Jeremiah remained in the guard's quarter. So this is an example of right here how Yahweh can use a person. It looked like it was, for some of us being caught in that situation, we can look at ourselves and different things that we go to in life and say, I feel like I'm in a helpless situation. But we have to know, as people that walk in the faith of the Most High and keep the way of the Most High to the best of our abilities, that the Most High will send someone to give you assistance and deliverance and clarity, or what you need assistance with. And this is that what we're seeing right here in this place in Jeremiah. Now you can go ahead and you can read it on later as more, and you'll see that the king is the one who ends up getting his feet stuck in the mud. So go ahead, y'all check that out, and y'all finish reading that. But in the meantime, go with me to, now we're going to go for the other example for this. We're going to go to 1 Samuel, and it'll be in its first chapter. And I'll be starting at verse 8. Alrighty, we're in Samuel. First Samuel, oh yep, first chapter. Okay. All right, now where's that verse 8 at? Okay. We're just going to start right. Okay. Oh, I'm going to start at 6. Her rival taunted her. Y'all going to catch on in a minute. Her rival taunted her and made her feel bad because Yahweh had kept her from having children. He did the same every year. And each time she went up to the house of Yah, and she taunted her so much that she will cry and not eat. Her husband Elkanah said to her, Hannah, why are you crying? And why aren't you eating? Why be so sad? Am I not better to you than 10 sons? She probably started crying even more. So Hannah got up after they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh. Eli, here we go, here's a person. Eli, the Kohen, which is priest, was sitting on his seat by the doorpost of the temple of Yah. In deep depression, she prayed to the Most High Yah and cried. Then she took a vow. She said, Yahweh Shabbat, if you will notice how humiliated your servant is, if you will remember me and not forget your servant, but will give your servant a male child, then I will give him to Yah as long as he lives. No razor will ever come on his head. She prayed for a long time before Yahweh, as she did so, Eli was watching her mouth. Hannah was speaking in her heart. Her lips moved, but her voice could not be heard. So Eli thought she was drunk. Like, girl, you drinking too much. Eli said to her, how long are you going to stay drunk? Stop drinking your wine. But Hannah answered, no, my El. I am a very unhappy woman. I have not drunk either wine or other strong liquor. Rather, I have been pouring out my soul before Yah. Don't think of your servant as a worthless woman, because I have been speaking from the depths of my distress and anger. Then Eli replied, go in peace. May the Elohim of Israel grant you what you have asked him. She replied, may your servant find favor in your sight. So the woman went on her way. She ate, and her face was no longer sad. They got up early in the morning and worshiped before Yahweh, then returned and came to their house in Ramah. Elkanah had sexual relations with Hannah his wife, and Yah remembered her. She conceived, and in due time she gave birth to a son, whom she named Shemuel, because I asked Yahweh for him. So bam, this is another example of how Yahweh can use a priest or a person to come and give an individual comfort and give comfort and a sense of peace in knowing that Yahweh is listening to you. And because of how she walked and because of how she was as a person, as you can see, that is what came about. Now, Let's see here. Now let's go for the bonus. All right, so for the bonus, I'm going to need y'all to go with me to Exodus chapter 28. And, and we're going to start, looks like we're going to start in verse 15. So everybody go with me to Exodus chapter 28. And we're going to start around verse 15. Yeah, let's see here. What? Exodus, Exodus chapter 28. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong chapter. I was like, no wonder why that was not looking right. Okay. Exodus chapter 8. Let's see here. Yes. Okay, so I'll read this first and then I'll explain. It says, make a breastplate for judging. Now, it's good to read this whole chapter. All these chapters I read, it's good to read the whole chapter so you can get an even deeper clarity. But for time purposes, I'm showing you guys main pieces. Make a breastplate for judging. Have it crafted by a skilled artisan. Make it like the work of a ritual vest. Make it of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. When folded double, it is to be squared, a handspan by a handspan. Put in it setting of stones, 4 rows of stones. The first row is to be of carnelian, a topaz, and an emerald. The second row, a green feldspar, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, an orange zircon, and a gate, and a amethyst. In the fourth row, a beryl, I always say that wrong, an onyx, and a jasper. They are to be mounted in their gold setting. Now listen to this right here. These stones will correspond to the names of the 12 sons of Israel. They are to be engraved with their names as a seal would be engraved to represent the 12 tribes. Now, I'll also do a part 2 in this where I'll go deeper in on some of these things. But this is one spot that you can see, and I even have a few more. Like if y'all want to go to take a look at Yahshua 4, this will kind of help you understand of what I just read. But these 12 tribes, each of these 12 tribes are represented by a stone. And from my understanding, how it would be is that they will use the Urim with these 12 stones, and Aharon will communicate with the Most High by using these breastplates with these stones to get answers when they're dealing with the community. And however they had it on their answers, these stones would light up and give answers and clarity for whatever question they had with Yah. For example, let's see here in this same chapter, if you read on verse 35, it says, Aharon is to, right here. You even got to go, let's see here. 29, it says right here, Aharon will carry the names of the sons of Israel on the breastplate for judging over his heart when he enters the set-apart place as a continual reminder before Yah. You are to put the Urim and the Tumim in the breastplate for judging. They will be over Aharon's heart when he goes into the presence of Yah. Thus, Aharon will always have the means. Now, listen to this. Aharon will always have the means for making decisions for the people of Israel over his heart when he is in the presence of Yah. Bam. So for the bonus one, I guess you can say stones possibly can help us with communication. They may have some energy, as we can see from the scriptures, that can help us with certain clarity and seeing things in a certain way. Well, I want to thank y'all, family, for the time that you guys have watched me and been able to see my breakdown of different ways that Yahweh communicates. Again, he can use an angel. He can come to us in our dreams. He can use a person. And what we've seen for this bonus, we can also see that he may even use these stones for some type of comfort and communication. But it's important for us, too, that when we are trying to get understanding from Yah, to have our minds really cleared as much as it can be and focused on receiving these answers from the Most High. Because we all know that in this world, that going about through our day, that I don't know about y'all, but we hear a lot of voices in our head, a lot of voices saying this, a lot of voices saying that. But what we have to back down and do, we have to ask ourselves, are these voices words that are coming from the Most High? Because if they're words that are coming from the Most High, they're going to be for our well-being, they're going to give us instruction, and they're going to give us clarity. So with that being said, I love y'all, family. I appreciate y'all. All honor to my rabbi, who is Robert B. Hull Jr., also Kohen, Sean Appleton. You guys can go on Podbean and listen to other Hebraic informations of truth of the scripture on Podbean. You can also go on YouTube on Yahweh's Exile Empire. You can see the podcast on there. You can see certain Shabbat services. And let us unify and let us do what the Most High wanted us to do, which is to keep his Torah. It's not going to be waiting on someone to come. Most High says, when you return to my ways, I will reverse your exile, which is all through Scripture. So thank you, my people. I love y'all. I hope y'all liked what y'all saw. Please continue to come to the channel. Please like and share this video. And most love and respect to everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you very much.